I have written, researched, and delivered a few hundred commentaries since I've been at this station, and I always appreciate your feedback. I get emails, tweets, posts on my Facebook page, messages, and I try to respond to everybody. But the last 2 weeks have been different. I have been inundated with passionate, even angry responses to my last 2 commentaries. The emails I've received highlight the deep divide in this country where Americans are taking sides against each other and have no interest in learning an opposing point of view. We have devolved into a country that attacks first and asks questions never. The first commentary 2 weeks ago was right after we learned that 4 Americans were killed in Niger by ISIS fighters in an ambush. Since their loved ones were at funerals that weekend standing over flag-draped coffins, I warned NFL players that probably wasn't the best weekend to take a knee during the national anthem. After that, several angry viewers wrote to me, including Susie, who wrote, "I am shocked and disgusted to see Larry's racist propaganda being broadcast on your station. Taking a knee is not disrespecting the flag," as Larry stated. "To overlook what Black Lives Matter stands for is bigoted, hateful, and divisive. Larry Mendte is un-American in his attempt to shut down peaceful protest, as well as his callous indifference to the concerns of others." I will point out that Susie didn't write that email to me. She wrote to the owner of the station, who passed it along. I did respond to Susie, asking her to be careful of throwing the word racist around because it has a deep and ugly meaning in this country, and it loses some of that meaning when you use it as a weapon. I also pointed out to Susie that I've interviewed dozens of Gold Star mothers, and they do find kneeling during the national anthem disrespectful. I stand with them. Susie never responded to me. She wrote to the owner of the station again, chastising him, saying if she wanted to hear from me, she would have sent an email to me in the first place. Susie represents one side of the nation's divide. She doesn't want to hear why people disagree with her. She just wants to silence their point of view. But the other side is just as bad. I found that out last week when I criticized President Donald Trump for not even acknowledging the sacrifice of these 4 men for almost 2 weeks. Again, that angered several viewers who wrote to me, including Phil, who emailed me this. "Larry, I need to express my utter disdain for you as you are a stain on yourself. I used to admire you for being a real journalist with serious broadcast chops. I landed on your show today and watched you feign outrage at Trump for remarks he made as a candidate. Regardless of who said what to who, you looked like all the haters on CNN, and I will avoid anything you do or say as a sheep in the fake news corral." And then he added a bah sound for effect. I wrote back to Phil that I wasn't feigning outrage, I was really outraged, and that I didn't base my commentary on anything that Trump said as a candidate. In fact, it was his silence that bothered me. Also, I have attacked CNN in countless commentaries. Finally, I pointed out to Phil that I'm sorry he couldn't express his opinion without attacking me. He never wrote back. Both Phil and Susie represent a problem I have with many on the right and the left. They're passionate in their positions, but they're also angry, and they don't want to hear anything that could influence their point of view. In both commentaries, I was consistent. I sided with them. Sergeants LaDavid Johnson, Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson, and Dustin Wright. The point of the commentaries are to give perspective and opinion based on a foundation of fact. They're there to make you think, to make you angry, but to create a dialogue, something that is sorely missing in this country. We attack, we don't talk, and the divide widens. Let's close the divide by talking things out. At the station, my email address is larrym@pmcmtv.com. I'm on Twitter @LarryMendte, and I'm just Larry Mendte on Facebook. I would love to hear from you, and I make a commitment to respond to everybody and use some of your comments on the air, because when we talk to each other, it's hard to hate each other. I'm Larry Mendte. Talk to you again next week.